Good evening, Aquarius. It is an honor to be here with you tonight. Your flowers will be featured at the very end of the reading, and you'll see why when you get to the end of the reading. So we're going to get a message from Spirit. And I just want to thank you for being patient with my voice. It is getting a little better. Hopefully it'll be completely resolved in a day or two. I hope you've had a wonderful day. I know that there's a lot going on, so you may have had a challenging day, but you always find a way to make it wonderful. I've seen the number 5, believe it or not, so I'm going to give it 5 swishes. Spirit, what do you want Aquarius to know tonight? In 4 left. 3. 2. What do we have for Aquarius tonight? 1 left. Okay, so there's a definite split coming out right here. Ooh, wow. And there's something poking out underneath. Amazing. Oh, and there's something else poking out underneath there. Spirit. Overload. Oh, and there's something else poking out underneath this. Okay, I got it all. Oh, and there's something else poking out underneath this. Give me a moment. So right away, for some of you, I can see that some of you may be considering trying to figure out whether or not you should. There's a physical move here, possibly an invitation to physically move or go on a trip. This could be a road trip or a trip by water. There's some real forceful energy here, some change, some truth. Okay, we've got up here, we've got, and I'm just going to tell you the feeling that I'm getting from this. So we've got a lot of flames here, a lot of fire. This could have something to do with wildfires, but we've got something coming toward this person here who is sitting very quietly, looking. Why do I see tonight? I know I've never seen you in the 4 of Cups, and I'm seeing you in the 4 of Cups. I'm seeing you look sad. There's a very sad expression. I have never seen this person looking sad before. I don't know why you could be sad. Have you ever seen that character looking sad? Because I haven't. I'm seeing sadness on that person's face. So you could be sad about something. Maybe you're sad about fire, the wildfires or something. Maybe you're sad about having to move or sad about contemplating a move. This person normally is focused on the physical, on the material. Maybe you feel bad for nature. Okay, there's something else coming in here. Can't make this up, guys. Whoa. Whoa. So we've got the 10 of Wands here. So I asked for a message from Spirit tonight. Did I ever get it? There's some kind of, so overall what I'm getting is there's some kind of change in your life that, or perhaps a yearning, a desire for a truth or a change. There's, over here we have the idea of contemplating, thinking, contemplating some kind of a move. There's an idea of an invitation to move or an invitation, a message. Perhaps there's somebody forcing or pressuring you to physically move here. But what I find very interesting over here, I've got a lot of fire. There's flames coming out of the helmet of this. That's fire. Look at that huge flame. Flames, flames, flames. And of course, this is a card of Leo, so it's an element of fire. Okay, what do we have here? Sorry, guys, if this is this could be your home, family. Aquarius, I have never seen you in the Four of Cups before. I do see you. It's almost like you're feeling sad for nature, feeling sad for things that grow from the earth. Because, of course, these cups are all things physical. They come from the earth. They are connected to the 3D. They're rocks and butterflies and bumblebees and flowers. And I'm thinking about that story of the littlest angel. Um, I know that you guys know the story of the littlest angel, so I don't have to go through it. But basically, the littlest angel, it was a 4-year-old boy who died and went to heaven very early, and he couldn't sing in tune, so he screwed up in the choir. His halo was always crooked. He sucked as an angel, basically, he thought anyway. And of course, when it came time to present gifts to baby Jesus, he had this wonderful idea. All the other angels who were fancy and who could sing in tune and who were in the choir, and they all were going to present gold and mirth and all these cool things. And the littlest angel, when he heard about the baby Jesus, he thought, I know, the best gift ever. And he thought about his box on earth, which contained the things that he loved. Sorry. By the way, the reason why I couldn't get your flowers today is because I got emotional. It'll be at the end. I don't know why I'm so emotional today. But anyway, I'm speaking about this idea of appreciating and feeling bad for things that are on the earth, that are growing on the earth. The littlest angel thought, I know. I will give the baby Jesus my box of things, because I'm back on earth before he died in this little box. He had a rock that he had picked up from a beach where he used to go fishing, and he had the leash that used to be on his dog that was described as a mongrel, kind of an ugly dog, and a few other things. I can't remember what else was in the box. So he talks to an archangel, and the archangel, I believe it was Archangel Michael. And by the way, archangels are they are real. Anyway, the archangel made a deal with the littlest angel, and he somehow retrieved that bloody box, brought it into heaven. And so on the day that everyone was presenting the gifts, the littlest angel looks around. All these fancy stuff is waiting for the baby Jesus arrival, and he begins to feel embarrassed because of all of he thinks, oh my goodness, there's gold over there, mirth over there, and what am I giving baby Jesus? My box of crap. And so, of course, you're sitting there feeling sad for things like the littlest angel wanted to give, the rock, the leash from the dog. Well, let me tell you what happened. By the way, I just looked it up. The contents of the littlest angel's box were a battered leather strap, and that was from his mongrel dog, a smooth polished stone, which was from the beach. By the way, this is why you're sad. From the beach where the littlest angel would fish, a bluebird's egg, and it was just the cracked out portion of the egg, and a dried butterfly wing. And so what happened is the littlest angel is approaching, and he's looking at all these fancy gifts from the other angels. And then he begins to shake because he's so embarrassed, and he panics because, oh my God, the baby Jesus and God is going to see these crappy gifts that I brought. And he turns around, he tries to run, and he trips up and he falls. And then the Lord speaks. And here's what he's saying to you, Aquarius, here. Of all the gifts of all the angels, I find this small box pleased me most. Its contents are of the earth and of men, and my son is to be born to be king of both. These are the things my son too will know and love and cherish, and then, regretful, will leave behind him when his task is done. I accept this gift in the name of the child Jesus born of Mary this night in Bethlehem. Now, I think this reading could be something as simple as about you feeling bad about the wildfires and what's being destroyed, because there is an enormous amount of destruction going on, an enormous amount. Some of you may be pressured to leave, to move, to evacuate. The Ten of Pentacles has to do with money, home, family, but it's always the monetary value of the home. This could be the amount of effort that it took to build up the home. But remember that the Ten of Wands is all about, this person has put an enormous amount of effort, labored on this earth into building toward that home. This is what this person is, their final goal is to have that home. And I can't remember what scripture it is, but there is a scripture that explains, look, these material things here on earth were made for you to enjoy. Spirit made them. God made them. They will come and go, and they are to be enjoyed. They are to be, your food is to be enjoyed. A meal is to be eaten. I have to find the exact scripture on this to explain this card of the Ten of Wands. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, and I'm going to read it in a second. There is no better description of the Ten of Wands. What's happening in the Ten of Wands is someone is laboring. They're really putting a lot of effort in. And what this person is doing is they're laboring to build a home. Maybe they're laboring to build that home so they can pass it along to their children, so they can build a financial, empire to pass along. But of course, in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, if you've ever wondered what it means, what profit hath he that worketh in that wherein he laboreth? If you've ever wondered what that meant, what it means is God has already done the work, already created the seed to every flower, the genetic code to every being, every physical thing. And there is a cycle and a season. That's why it starts out with to everything. Thing, meaning piece of matter. You're looking at things there. Of course, you know damn well this is your turf here. This cup coming from heaven. That's what you're with normally. What you're feeling sorry for here are things on this earth, and God love you. I'm with you there. You're probably looking at the trees that are being destroyed, and worried about animals and things. That's why you look sad. I have never, ever seen you in the Four of Cups, ever. And I see you there tonight. Spirit wants you to know, and actually this goes right along with the message that came out from the Galactic Federation this morning about the Ark of the Covenant, which I'll get to in a minute. This card here, let me just go on. He hath made everything thing beautiful in its time. Also, he hath set the world in their hearts, so that no man can find out the work that God maketh from the beginning to the end. I know that there is no good in them, but for a man to rejoice and to do good in his life. And it goes on, that which hath been is now, and that which hath already been, and God requireth that which is past. In other words, everything has to, everything that, everything that gets destroyed, that dies, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the sun. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time, and it goes on and on. In other words, the deeper meaning here is everything that you see that could possibly be destroyed here. All right, by this, whatever this is, this conquest. This is a card of conquest. It's also a card of fire. So you may be very worried about destruction. Here, there could be an idea of you having to move. But there is a code that has been preserved for everything on this earth. And there is a place where it is stored, and that is in the Ark of the Covenant. And there are 3 of them. There are 3 of them. One of them is on this earth. Let's keep going and just see if that's going to be mentioned in this reading. Darn, I just missed a card. I don't know if you saw that. Something tried to poke out. Show us more for Aquarius, please. Definite split right here. Oh, there's the Archangel. Whoa. Remember, I said there are 3. I don't know if you guys ever saw the movie Raiders of the Lost Ark. And I mean the original one, the oldie. And we have an archangel here. For everything on this earth, every flower, every animal, every tiger, every lion, every cat, every dog, every bumblebee, every octopus, everything, every fascinating thing on this earth, there is a genetic code. And even for species that, unfortunately, that we have, that have become extinct at the present moment, that genetic code for that species has been preserved. All of these things are preserved in the Ark of the Covenant. There are 3. And in fact, if you could think of the Ark of the Covenant as a gold box, and the Pleiadians, along with some archangels, this is Archangel Michael here, who are considered to be very high. You can think of them as beings that that operate on a very, very higher a level than us. Okay, it's not a physical thing. Together, they created the Ark of the Covenant. So I know I go on and on about how dense this earth is, and many of you have criticized me for it, and I love it when you do, because you're right. Because one of the wonderful things that came out of this experiment, this beautiful earth, was that that's why the Ark of the Covenant is so well protected. There is one that is on earth, and I don't know exactly where it is, but there is a physical location. It's a smaller gold box, and it has the genetic, it has the blueprint for everything, and its purpose, it's in case the world is destroyed, in case beautiful species go extinct. They won't be extinct forever. I know this is a bit heavy, but I believe that many of you understand and are ready to hear some of this information. What else do we have for Aquarius? Okay, so there's 4 coming out. Can't wait to see what this, wow. Whoa. So you know that I always see the 10 of Cups as our 5D ascension, as this beautiful, renewed world that is possible with the Ark of the Covenant, but it may be after a clearing out. So I believe that Spirit is telling you here that these fires, if you're anywhere near these fires or you're looking at destruction of the 3D, earthquakes, fire, lightning, because I understand that the scientists are saying that the fires are mainly being caused by lightning. Well, I do believe that what Spirit is telling you here is that this is a cleansing. It's a necessary cleansing, and that nothing will be lost. Remember the Ark of the Covenant. Let's go to Isaiah 66:15 here with the chariot. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. Remember, there are 3 arcs of the covenant. We have another 3 here. And the 3 of Wands, by the way, is all about 3 days. Now, I'm posting this on August 8th. You may see it on August 9, 10, 11, 12. On August 12th, there will be 7 seconds. According to NASA, you can look this up, okay? It's not hocus pocus. Where there is an event, they say, where there will be a lack of gravity. Want to make sure that you're in your house at that time. You don't want to be out grocery shopping, confirmation right there. But it may also have to do with the 3 days of darkness, which is all of this. And I know that many of you know this, but what is coming up is something beautiful. We have 2 3s here, by the way. Do you see that? Oh, what's this? Beautiful. Now, there's you seated very comfortably in your home, giving everyone warm fuzzies, making the best, doing the best with the hand you are dealt with. And look at all the beautiful bunnies and creatures that are around you. Anyway, I digress. I just want you to know that this is a very, very historic time. And there is everything to be positive about. And I love the fact that you were looking sad in the 4 of Cups, looking at these beautiful material things. That happened to me today when I tried to cut your roses. I'm hoping that I can attach the video. I don't know if I can, but I'll try because YouTube may ding me. But there is a song by David Bowie called Wild is the Wind. And that song went through my head today as I was walking through this little trail looking at these roses that I was hoping to cut for your reading tonight. And there is a lyric in the song that says, as the leaf clings to the tree, oh, my darling, cling to me. So, I think that's what you're feeling when you're looking at nature, that all will be well and all manner of things will be well. And you know this, Aquarius. You've got this. Stay aligned with Spirit. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Bye. Aquarius, I'm out on my bike ride and I just want to show you because I don't have anything to cut these with and I really don't want to cut them off their bush, but these are the flowers for you tonight. They're really beautiful, and just look at this unusual insect that's on that one. And as we go down through this little path, there's so many of them.